Hello and welcome back to Sakura Spirit. In the last episode, the village was attacked by a slime girl referred to as Sakura. The fox spirit, aided by Takahiro, he helped the villagers and the village guards to defeat this slime girl using Maeko's magic to melt the slime down to a non-dangerous point. Despite an incident with the Captain Miyu's clothes and armor being melted away by the slime, everything went more or less painless. As we left last episode, Takahiro were to go with the second in command of the guard, as the village elder and the village captain were to discuss with the fox spirits what to do to prepare against the slime spirit. Let's continue. It didn't. Even the elements seemed to be working against the village today. Barely a minute into the walk, the sky is let loose and we were both soaked through within seconds. Letting out a yelp, Narumi grabbed my hand and pulled me towards the nearest shelter. Oh, you! The rainfall this suddenly? That's just typical. Today we just went from bad to worse. I thought it would take more than a bit of rain to douse your warrior spirit. Warrior spirit. Yeah, I really had that by the bucketful today, didn't I? You sound different from last time we met. I was practically expecting you to shout, "Ha! If you want to stop the great Narumi, you better up your act, Mother Nature. Send me a tsunami, an earthquake, or a tornado my way, and you might stand a chance." Yeah, well, that was before I realized what a weak, cowardly person I am. It wouldn't take all that to stop me. I'm not that great. I'm just a girl who's trying to impress someone. It just takes a drizzle to stop me. I frowned for a moment, trying to think of how to respond. It looked like her inability to stop the slime girl from causing havoc had led Narumi to feel like she had failed somehow. It was then I recalled a certain scenario and decided to act. I swiftly grabbed a hold of Narumi's shoulder, while my other arm wrapped around her own, almost as though I was about to comfort her. I had decided to use a judo technique. Pretending to be a hero of some manga preparing himself for a secret technique, I shouted proudly, "Why, hey, stop! Surikomi Goshi!" Having practiced judo since I was a kid, I easily spun the girl over my shoulder and onto her back in the rainy grass. My eyes were sharp as they looked down at her, repeating the words I remembered from a certain manga. "If you let one loss break your spirit, you're not suited for the life of a warrior. The stronger the people around you, the more you should improve you." That doesn't mean anything. You took me by surprise is all. You looked like you were going to kiss me, then tossed me on my back. I was planning to kiss you, and now I forgot my heroic speech. Get up and grab your weapon, Narumi. If words won't cheer you up, then let's talk like warriors do. Through battle. Wait here. The woman pushed herself upward and barged past me, stomping into a nearby building. Only now did I recognize it as the building I had been held in the day before. I winded under the wooden slats of the shelter as the rain continued. A few moments later I heard a loud thud, and through the doors Narumi burst. Well then. In her hands she held a naginata, similar to the one she had used previously, but with a different blade. A moment before her attack landed, I noticed that it wasn't nearly as sharp as it should have been. Yeah! It took everything I had to raise my arms in time and grab a hold of the shaft of the weapon before the attack crushed my body. Pushing her weapon aside, I darted forward. Pushing my hands forcefully against her chest, I attempted to open her up for a second attack. That's it! You're not some weak-willed girl who's going to lose her fighting spirit that easily. Shut up! You don't even know what's going on. I'm going to beat the snot out of you, and that'll make me feel better. Didn't you forget one of the most important things in a fight? The woman gritted her teeth and lunged toward me again. A wild, angry strike that would have been ridiculously easy to dodge had she not been so fast. Even though I was faster, the whoosh that shot past me made it clear she was not pulling her punches. I don't care. It's not important. I couldn't do it. I got scared. I let everyone down. And that's why you failed as a warrior. I can read every emotion behind your attacks. You're angry at yourself for being unable to stop that spirit, right? Disappointed at yourself for lacking the courage to face them. But you're not some lone hero who has to do everything by herself. I quickly pushed her naginata upwards, a quick slide of my body nearly knocking the weapon out of her hands. I quickly raised a hand to flick her forehead before stepping backwards. Did anyone tell you you had to fight that spirit on your own? Did you forget that you have friends out there who would give their lives to help you? A hero who fights alone is a hero who dies early. It is why both you and the Sundara tyrant weren't able to defeat that spirit. How? How am I supposed to fight by her side when she's so much better than I can even hope to be? How can I stand a chance against spirits when I'm just a girl with a sharp stick? Miyo lost her sword, but she never lost her resolve. I lost mine as soon as things became dangerous. I'm worthless. The woman snarled as her forehead was flicked, and she quickly lunged forward again, lashing out with her spare hand aiming for my temple. I ducked, slipped back, and narrowly dodged the swing of her naginata. I noticed a change in her stance, which seemed to allow a closer attacking style. The only limits we have are those we impose upon ourselves. If she's better than you, you just need to keep improving. Even I have things I want to overcome. That's the thing about martial arts. Why haven't you tried talking to her about this? Because I can't. I can't talk to her. I just need to be strong. She does it without relying on anyone, without bending or yielding. I can't do it. I can't be like her. Is that really how it is? Maybe you just don't know what the source of her strength is. But in your case, it's just a matter of finding your resolve. Well, there's the problem. I don't have any. I'm just a dumb little girl who needs to be saved all the time. Come on, stop talking like that. Don't you have something you want to protect at all costs? Nothing at all? Not your family, your friends, your village? You just turn up for the paycheck and then tell them thanks? You're right. There's nothing. I lost everything. The woman's next attack caught me by surprise. She flung her weapon towards me at full strength, hitting my arm, causing me to flinch. As she turned away from me, she slipped on the wet grass. Before I had the chance to react, she scrambled to her feet and suddenly took off towards the forest. I chased the girl as fast as I could, barely able to keep up as she picked her way through the trees. She finally slowed down, coming to a stop at the edge of a small clearing. You're really fast. Why did you run? Damn it, why did you follow me? I didn't ask you to come. I don't want you here. Leave. I can't do that, Narumi-chan. A hero never abandons someone in need, and a master never lets his pupil down. What are you talking about? It's not important. Won't you at least tell me what's gotten you this worked up? I know you panicked back when the wild spirit attacked, but I think most people would have. It's not something you need to feel ashamed of. No answer came from the girl, who kept her gaze lowered. Rolling my eyes, I turned to leave, but stopped when I noted two small graves. They looked old, but well-maintained, sitting in the shade of a tree. Narumi. My parents lost their lives during a spirit attack. I was lucky enough not to see it happen firsthand, but I'm all alone now. I lost my best friend too. When I saw Miyo trapped, I got so scared that I was going to lose her too. I just kind of shut down. My mind went blank. I envy you, Takahiro. You're trapped in another world and you might never see your family and friends again. But here you are, still so positive and so eager to help everyone. How do you do it? Well, I do worry about whether I'll be able to return to my world or not. But I realize that just sitting around sulking all day won't get me anywhere. I'd rather spend my time helping everyone. But I don't think you lost everything that day. I mean, Miyo-san is still here, right? So maybe she can be the reason for you to get stronger. And what about the elder and the other villagers? Isn't there trust in you enough of a reason to fight? It's just so hard. I'm so weak. I can't fight, but you can. Will you help me? I need to get better, and your skills are incredible. If I get strong enough, maybe I can finally protect those I care about. Miyo-san, Chi-chan, the village. Well, I'm going to be stuck for a while here anyway, so I wouldn't mind helping you out, but if you had kept your emotions in check during our fight, I would have been seeing stars by now. Who's Chi-chan? You're not talking about the elder, are you? Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. Can I trust you, Takahiro-kun? Of course, my lips are sealed. Chi-chan is Machiko. Oh, you already gave her a nickname. It's a little complicated. We were friends when we were kids. She was the friend I lost. After the incident, the villagers went on a witch hunt and got rid of all the spirits, banishing them through the forest. I haven't spoken to her since, that is, until today. I doubt Machiko-san has changed much from how you remember her. Well, aside from the fact that she might not have been such a tease. Nope, she was actually a tease back then, too. Only, not so intense. She used to play fun little pranks like hiding a bucket of water on a door or hiding a frog in someone's boot. It was so much fun. I genuinely hope the next generation of children in this village won't take after the two of you. Bah, you're no fun. It's only a bit of harmless silliness. We made sure no one ever got hurt. We even rescued the frogs. It's just a shame it all ended so quickly. Why don't you try to reconnect with her now that she's allowed back into the village? I'd like to. We had a lot of fun when we were playing, but something seemed weird when I spoke to her earlier. She didn't seem to remember anything and it looked like it hurt when she tried to. It's probably nothing, but you never know. Maybe something happened to her after she ran away. In any case, I think we should return to the village. This rain... Oh wait, the rain stopped. I didn't even notice. We should still get back though. I turned my gaze away, my cheeks burning as I pointed at her chest. Your clothes are soaked. Ah, you're right. Yeah, they're almost see-through. That's not something you should be amused about. Look who's talking. My body is fantastic and it deserves to be shown off. I doubt your grandfather wants you showing it off to anyone at all, let alone a guy. Anyway, let's get back to the village before you catch a cold. The girl nodded, and with one last look at the grave, she turned and began to walk back to the village, with me following her in her trail. We walked back to the village, exchanging idle chatter. I managed to establish that, while the girl was training her body well, she lacked discipline. She led me to an unfamiliar building on the outskirts of the village and quickly unlocked the door. Welcome to my humble abode. Doesn't look like much, but I keep it tidy. You can put one of Oji-sama's old robe if you want to. You know, while your stuff dries. This used to be his place before he became village elder. I never really got rid of things. Oh, it's still her talking. I didn't think so because there was any name marker over here. He won't even notice you're wearing his stuff. You can change in there. I'll go into something else. Before we had a chance to get started, the sound of heavy footsteps could be heard from outside, and soon enough a young guardsman appeared at the door. Hikage-san, there you are. We've been searching for you. Elder-sama wishes to see you right away. Oh, of course, right away. The guard saluted, snapped around and took off. Narumi closed the door behind him and walked back to a clean pile of clothes. Without warning, she began stripping off her clothes in front of me. My first reaction was to quickly cover my eyes with one hand. Narumi, however, didn't seem the least bit bothered by my presence. Narumi-chan, what are you doing? What's the matter, Takahiro? Never seen a girl in her undies before? Oh wait, you saw mine yesterday. Maybe you've just never seen them on a girl. Actually, I've seen a lot of things in my life, but never a girl stripping. What would your grandfather say if he saw you? I started as I briefly visualized how Narumi would have looked without the underwear, but quickly cleared the thought from my mind. Well, he's not going to find out, is he? It's nothing. We need to hurry, right? So get changed already. It's a matter of decency. Aren't you embarrassed knowing there's a healthy guy in the same room as you? At this rate, this and that might happen. We're going to be late either way. Not really. I don't mind if it's you, Takahiro-kun. I'm on it. I wouldn't mind any of my friends seeing me like this. You have seen me naked lots of times. But that's not really the issue here. Anyway, I quickly turned around, trying my best not to peek as she finished changing. Tell me when you're done. This kind of simulation isn't good for my mind. If you'd quit your babbling, we'd be done already. Get your clothes off and the driver ones on. I suddenly felt hands grab my hips from behind, and without any other warning, my trousers were yanked down to my ankles. A firm kick to my rear followed, and I stumbled forwards towards the wardrobe. Now! You didn't have to kick me. I sighed in frustration. I had been wrong. Whether it was the Sundara tyrant, Narumi, Machiko, or Maeko, these girls had no common sense. You know, it's not fair that only you get a show. Hey, keep your eyes to yourself. This isn't a peeping contest. Good thing, too. I'd have no chance of winning. Well, I admit your side certainly has the more interesting view. I mumbled as I snuck another peek at Narumi while putting on the old robes that I had found in the wardrobe. She seemed to have changed most of her clothes by now, replacing them with near-identical dry ones. That's convenient for the animators. I wondered why she would have more than one set of the same clothes when it struck me. You have a strange dress code here. What dress code? These are my clothes. Are you saying I dress strangely? No, they just look a lot like your other clothes. Then again, what do I know? There's not a lot of option when it comes to clothes here. In the cities, maybe, but here you find something you look good in and you stick to it. Some people don't even have spare clothes, so I'm pretty lucky. I guess it would be for a tailor to find work. I think there's missing heart or something like that in here. For a tailor to find work in a small village like this. I'm guessing fabric isn't easy to come by either. Yeah, it's never been easy, but these days it's almost impossible to convince people to come out here with the spirits around. People used to pay visits to the shrine, but lately they haven't been coming. Makes sense. I don't think many would be willing to risk their lives peddling goods to some small village knowing wild spirits might attack. Yeah, oh, dang it. I'm going to need some help here, Takahiro-kun. Are you done yet? Yep, just finished. What do you need help with? My wrap came loose. Can you pull it back on and tighten it for me? I've never been able to get it right on my own. As she said that, she pulled her top up, presenting her back to me. You want me to do it? Feeling slightly embarrassed at the thought, I tried my best to keep my thoughts pure as I took hold of the end of the wraps and helped pull them back, tying them into place. I quickly made sure they were neither too tight nor too loose. Come on, be a man, just pull it tight and tight. A little surprised at her reaction, I decided to do as she said and pulled it even tighter than I had previously, securing it with a sigh. This isn't good for my heart. There, that wasn't too hard. Come on, let's hurry. Oh, you look good, like a handsome young businessman. I look more than a monk than a businessman. Smiling weakly, I quickly followed after Narumi, who was already in a hurry to leave the house. We dashed across the village to the elder's house, Narumi grabbing a weapon along the way. When we got there, we heard shouting and exchanged worried glances before pushing through the door. Halt, villain! Oh my. Prepare your... Did we cross into a different dimension? Ah! Stop it, stop it, stop it! Never! I'm going to vanquish you! The scene that lay before us was unlike anything I had ever seen. In one corner, Maeko was cuddling a large empty bottle, sleeping and giggling to herself. At the back of the room, the village elder was hitting a large casket with a lock on while grumbling to himself. In the center of the room, Machiko lay pinned to the floor by Miyo, who was tickling her mercilessly. Narujin, help me with this. The chest is locked and all the sake is trapped inside and suffocating. We need to rescue it immediately. Oh, jeez, they're drunk. Takahiro-kun, can you stop those two? This wasn't the battle I was expecting. I nodded my head in confirmation to Narumi's request and turned towards the two girls on the floor, trying to decide how best to deal with them. With both of them drunk, it would probably have been easy enough to get Miyo to release Machiko. But before I had a chance to intervene, the two girls roughhousing on the floor caused them to bump into the table, knocking over a bottle of sake onto the both of them. Ah, I'm all wet now. You spilled the sake. Wah, stupid. The girl pushed herself upright, flailing like a spoiled child before turning tail and running through the door. Good grief, who knows what she might do. Naruto, please go get her. In this state, she'd only make stupid advances at me. Right. As Naruto ran off to retrieve the drunken fox girl, I was left to take care of the remaining few. Miyo-san, you need to come with me. We need to get you into something clean. You just want to see me naked. What? No, I'm not a pervert. Why does everyone seem to think that? I mean, yes, I do want to see boobs, but I have my honor, damn it. Nope, I'm not going to do anything you tell me to. I will stay right here and swim in sake. I sighed and looked down at the woman who was indeed trying to swim in the tiny puddle of sake on the floor. Taking a deep breath, I prepared myself. Tsundere Chief! Enemies have been sighted near the hot springs. Their numbers are about to overwhelm us. We need reinforcements right away. I came up with the bluff on the spot, hoping it would get Miyo out of the room. What? We have to vanquish them at once. Come on, private parrot, to the hot springs! But aren't we supposed to defend? Before I had time to finish my sentence, Miyo had me dragged to the entrance of the building by the collar of my robe. No, attack! Get to the hot springs and attack. I'll be there soon. And with that, she shoved me through the door with a hefty kick, the door slamming shut behind me. My hearing wasn't perfect, but I could have sworn I heard a yelp and a tumble following Miyo's departure. A large open area lay ahead of me, closed off by a tall bamboo fence. There was also a small area off to the side for more delicate washing. Sighing to myself, I began to tidy up the place a little, removing sharp objects and small obstacles that the drunken woman might injure herself with, and waited. 5 minutes went by before I heard the door open and close, followed by the gentle slosh of someone stepping into the water of the hot springs. Ah, the water's great. Hurry up and get in. Whatever happened to attack? I turned around expecting her to be standing in the water with the clothes on. However, the sight that awaited me was far from what I had expected from the tsundere tyrant. There was no katana slicing through the air or any harsh words being shouted. Instead, an attractive-looking girl wearing a simple towel had decided to take a seat in the hot water. Miyo-san? Whether it was a result of the drinking or not, the warm smile she showed me caused me to pause. Care to join me? I don't think... get in the water. Yes, ma'am. I quickly moved closer to the water, nearly slipping on the wet tiles before I made my way in. I folded up my rope, but kept the towel I had found around my waist. Today's been pretty busy, huh? Though the last thing I expected was for all of you to gulp down sake like a baby drinks its milk. The girl said nothing for a while, regarding me with a faint grin on her face. It made me nervous. I would almost rather have her shouting and angry. You don't slack off, do you? I can tell that you train a lot. Huh? Briefly caught off guard by her comment, I quickly gathered my thoughts and nodded in return. Well, I practice judo, so it's natural for me to train my body a lot. I'm sure the same can be said of you, Miyo-san. I mean, you look, rather feminine, but I could tell you knew how to handle a sword. That shows diligence and talent, but above all experience. You started young, didn't you? I did. She leaned back against the rocks and let out a sigh. It took me a long time to become competent with the blade. Days and nights of endless training, regardless of wind and weather, all in order to toughen myself up to make myself strong enough. It is horrible knowing nothing of your early life. I just turned up here in rags. The guards found me out in the woods one day while on patrol, starving and dirty. The previous village elder took pity on me and took me in. Everything went well for a while. Narumi's family took me in, treated me like one of their own. Then everything fell apart, seeing the village that had taken me in, fed me, clothed me, given me shelter, suffering at the hands of the spirits. I couldn't take it. As she spoke, she let out another sigh. It seemed the alcohol was making her a bit more talkative than usual, which wasn't a bad thing. I just hope I wouldn't end up paying for it once she had sobered up. After that, I felt like I had to do something. I couldn't just sit by while everything fell apart around me. The village was devastated by the fires, and that day I pleaded with the former chief of the guard to train me to make me stronger. I wanted to protect the village, to protect Narumi at any cost. He eventually agreed, but told me that I would need to strengthen my resolve first. And that's why you became, you can say it, a tsundere tyrant? I don't know what tsundere mean, but the tyrant part isn't far off. I didn't want to drive anyone away, least of all Narumi. But I had to, in order to not feel the pain of loss again. Spirits haven't been our only problems. Bandits, beasts, and the weather. The village needed protection from all of it. It became a purpose, and it made me distance myself from everyone else. I guess that explains why you've been acting like that around Machiko and Maeko. That's right, although I'm beginning to think that perhaps we can coexist. The fox spirits, at least I suppose this has something to do with you, so, thank you. You're welcome. It's not like I did much. I mean it, truly, you and the sisters. You may have saved me a life of living in fear, perhaps even prevented my death. I think you better tell them that. You're right, especially considering what comes next. Huh? What do you mean? The girl's words was becoming incoherent, muttering something about spirits and the village. It seemed like fatigue was finally taking its toll. Well, the other spirits probably won't be leaving out the village alone anytime soon. We're going to have to figure out how to stop them. But asking Maeko-chan and Machiko-san to help us is like asking you to turn on Narumi-chan. Turn on! The The girl giggled at this for quite some time, so I let out a sigh and coughed politely. What I meant was, they'll have to fight against their own kind at some point. I mean, why would they want to help you guys out in the first place? I think you and Narumi-chan will be the pieces we need to solve this puzzle. And we better figure out what to do soon. I doubt those spirits will hold back next time. You sound like it's some kind of game. That's not nice. As she said this, the girl slipped further down into the water. It's a bit easier to think of it like that. The moment they get ahead of us, it's game over. If you and Narumi-chan fix things between the villagers and the sisters, things might work out. You'll have to get as close to them as possible. But I don't like girls like that. The girl became incredibly flustered by my comment, having misunderstood what I had said. Before I could explain, she slumped over, her cheeks in a deep crimson red. As I tried to move closer, it became clear that she had passed out. The heat had probably gotten to her. Just my luck. She had to pass out wearing nothing but a towel. I swear someone up there is testing my patience with all these temptations. Sighing in annoyance, I carefully wrapped my arms around the girl and pulled her out of the water. Realizing that leaving Miyo here would be a bad idea, I thought about what to do when Narumi came barging in. Takahiro-kun, I heard you were in here. I managed you. Whoa! What's going on here? It's not what you think. The great captain couldn't handle the heat. Could you take over here? Sure, that's what happened. I believe you, you stud. Come on, I'll take her. I'll make sure that she gets a good night's rest. But you did do stuff to her while she was drunk. If you did do stuff to her while she was drunk, she's going to kick your ass. I shall refrain from provoking her wrath. The last thing I need is a hungover samurai trying to turn me into shish kebab. A motion for Narumi to come over. You should get some rest too, Takahiro-kun, and make sure to keep an eye on Chi-chan. She's a little restless right now. Leave her to me. She'll be in good hands. And with those words, I left Narumi to take care of the passed-out captain. And that's where we will end this episode. So if you haven't noticed, this is... well, we have definitely been giving the amount of loot and the amount of suggestive poses, and perhaps the expected lack of deeper characters, which is all fitting for a Sakura novel of any kind. If you have watched my Sakura Space playthrough, you will notice that that was also the case there, even though that was a Yuri setting instead of a harem setting like this is. Anyway, so until next time, take care.